Mistake. A mistake is something you do wrong.
My boss always yells at me when I make a mistake.
Scholarship. A scholarship is money given so someone can go to school.
I got a scholarship to help me pay for university.
Probably. If something will probably happen, it is likely to happen.
You will probably get a good grade if you study for the test.
Refuse. To refuse something is to say no to it.
The dog refused to play with the cat.
Athlete. An athlete is a person who plays sports.
Some athletes can play many sports very well.
Mention. To mention something is to talk about it.
The doctors mentioned the problems that the patient was having.
August. August is the 8th month of the year.
Is your birthday in August?
Actually. Actually means in fact or really.
My dad looks a little mean, but actually he's very kind.
Tense. When you are tense, you are not comfortable and feel unhappy.
I felt very tense waiting to hear the result of the vote.
Rabbit. A rabbit is a small animal with long ears that lives in a hole in the ground.
Look at the rabbit in the park.
January. January is the first month of the year.
My birthday is in January.
Approach. To approach something means to move close to it.
The boy approached his school.
Health. Health is the state of a person's body.
People who want good health should not smoke.
Neighbor. A neighbor is a person who lives near you.
I like my neighbor because he's very friendly.
Achieve. To achieve something is to successfully do it after trying hard.
I was happy that I could achieve my goal.
Involve. To involve means to include as an active participant.
The whole family was involved in playing the game.
Complex. If something is complex, it has many small parts. It is hard to understand.
A jigsaw puzzle can be complex because it has so many pieces.
Embarrass. To embarrass people is to make them feel ashamed or foolish.
He was embarrassed when he couldn't remember her name.
Set. To set something is to put it somewhere.
Please set the dice down on the table.
Dive. When you dive into water, you go down head first into the water.
I like skydiving from an airplane.
Mix. A mix is different things put together.
The green mix we made in science class spilled onto the table.
Final. If something is final, it is the last part.
In the final part of the film, the man and the woman got married.
Technology. Technology is new things made by using science.
He loves technology, such as laptop computers.
Age. Age is how many years someone has lived.
She died at the age of 80.
Burden. A burden is a serious or difficult responsibility.
Children who do not behave are a burden to their parents.
Cloud. A cloud is a group of water drops in the sky.
The sky was filled with white clouds.
Special. If something is special, it is unique and different.
The cupcake was special because it had blue frosting.
Recipe. A recipe is a set of instructions for cooking a certain type of food.
Do you use a recipe when you make that sauce?
Speed. When you speed, you go very fast.
Speeding is the cause of most car accidents.
Appreciate. To appreciate something is to understand its good qualities.
I can appreciate the lovely scenery.
Neither. You use neither to connect two negative possibilities.
Neither the path on the left nor the path on the right will lead us home.
Alcohol. Alcohol is a type of drink that can make people drunk.
A person should not drive a car after he or she has been drinking alcohol.
Bad. When something is bad, it is not good.
She is unhappy because she had a bad day.
Fear. Fear is the feeling of being afraid.
I have a great fear of skateboarding.
Dull. If something is dull, it is not exciting.
The movie was very dull. I fell asleep watching it.
Difference. A difference is a way that something is not like other things.
The biggest difference between the birds is the color of their feathers.
Organize. To organize is to plan or get ready for an event.
Make a list to help you organize the things you need.
Grass. Grass is the green leaves that cover the ground.
The grass looked so soft and green.
Sheet. A sheet is a thin, flat piece of paper.
I only needed a single sheet of paper to do my homework.
Instead. Instead means in place of.
He ate the carrot instead of the ice cream.
Heart. A heart is an organ that keeps the body alive.
My heart beats fast when I am nervous.
Schedule. A schedule is a plan that tells you when to do things.
What is your class schedule for today?
Wood. Wood is the thing that trees are made of.
I put the pieces of wood in a pile.
Explore. To explore is to look for new places.
He wants to explore the world and see new things.
Driveway. A driveway is a short private road that leads to a person's home.
The long driveway led us to their new house.
Captain. A captain is the person who controls a ship or airplane.
The captain sailed his ship to Australia.
Hang. To hang something is to keep it above the ground.
I drew a picture of my family, and my mother hung it on the wall.
Restaurant. A restaurant is a business where people sit and eat food.
Let's eat at the Indian restaurant.
Excite. To excite someone means to make them happy and interested.
I heard about the school dance on Friday. This excited me.
Green. Green is the color of growing grass or leaves.
I don't like green apples.
List. A list is a record of information printed with an item on each line.
My mom makes a list of groceries to buy.
Kilometer. A kilometer is a unit of measurement that is 1,000 meters.
A marathon is 42.2 kilometers.
Peace. Peace is a time without war.
A white dove is a symbol of peace.
Friend. A friend is someone a person knows and likes spending time with.
Brian's friend is very sad.
Boring. If something is boring, it is not fun.
I think the internet is boring.
Basic. If something is basic, it is very simple or easy.
I learned some basic English skills in school today.
Animal. An animal is a living thing that can move.
My favorite animal is the panda.
Leg. A leg is a body part used for standing and walking.
She hurt her leg.
Leave. To leave means to go away from someone or something.
He packed his bag and was ready to leave for home.
Village. A village is a very small town.
There are only a few houses in my village.
Above. If something is above, it is at a higher level than something else.
He straightened the sign that was above the crowd.
Deal. A deal is an agreement that you have with another person.
I made a deal with the other company to give us some money.
Choose. To choose is to pick something or make a decision.
I have to choose between taking art classes and sports lessons.
Urge. To urge someone is to try very hard to get them to do something.
He urged them to believe his story.
Social. If something is social, it is about many people in a community.
People should come together and fix the world's social problems.
Nature. Nature is everything in the physical world that is not made by people.
On the weekends, I love to walk in nature among the trees.
Benefit. A benefit is a good thing.
Being able to fly is a benefit to birds.
Street. A street is a road in a city or village.
What is the name of the street you live on?
Situated. If something is situated somewhere, it is in that place.
The whiteboard is situated between the two men.
International. If something is international, it involves more than one country.
The United Nations is a powerful international organization.
Expert. An expert is someone who is very good at doing something.
The wizard was an expert at magic.
Golf. Golf is a sport with clubs and a small white ball.
People play golf in nice weather.
Meeting. When you have a meeting, you are with other people.
We have lots of meetings at our school to plan what to do.
Demonstrate. To demonstrate something is to show how it is done.
She demonstrated her plan to her coworkers.
Wine. Wine is an alcoholic drink made from grapes.
The store carried both red and white wine.
Electric. If something is electric, it uses electricity.
Some car companies make electric cars.
Range. A range is a number or a set of similar things.
I saw a range of cars to choose from.
Eventually. When something happens at a later time or in the end, it happens eventually.
He will eventually move to London to find a new job.
Across. To go across something is to go to the other side of it.
He walked across the board to the other side.
Chance. A chance is an opportunity to do something.
I had a chance to see the Colosseum in Rome last summer.
Wonder. To wonder is to ask yourself questions or have a need to know.
The young mother wondered if she'd have a boy or a girl.
Together. Together shows an action is done with another person or thing.
Let's work together to finish the project.
Vegetable. A vegetable is a plant used as food.
Carrots are my favorite vegetable.
Poet. A poet is a person who writes poems.
William Shakespeare was one of the greatest poets.
Adult. An adult is a person who is more than 18 years old.
My mom and dad are adults.
Meal. A meal is a time when food is eaten, such as breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Breakfast is my favorite meal because I enjoy cereal.
Level. A level is a point on a scale that measures something.
Please check the level of the temperature.
Glad. If you are glad, you are happy.
I am glad you came to my party.
Friendship. Friendship is the relationship between people who are friends.
Michael and Lisa have a very strong friendship with each other.
However. However means despite or not being influenced by something.
She is a great cook. However, she never had professional lessons.
Catch. To catch is to grab or get something.
Did you catch the ball during the baseball game?
Specific. If something is specific, it is precise or exact.
Please choose a specific place on the map.
Lack. If there is a lack of something, there is not enough of it.
His only problem is a lack of money.
Block. A block is a solid piece of wood, stone, or ice.
I saw a block of ice on the floor.
Limit. A limit is the largest or smallest amount of something that you allow.
My mother put a limit on how much I could use the phone.
Country. A country is an area of land with the same government and laws.
France is a country in Europe.
Famous. A famous person or thing is well known.
The Eiffel Tower in Paris is very famous.
Loan. A loan is something, usually money, that one person lends to another.
I got a loan from the bank.
Water. Water is a clear liquid that people need to survive.
Drink 8 cups of water every day.
Trip. A trip is a journey to a certain place.
Ken took a trip to the city yesterday.
Sign. A sign is an indication giving information, directions, a warning, etc.
The sign indicated that today would be a bad day.
Beside. Someone or something beside you is next to you.
The 2 brothers stood beside each other.
University. A university is a school where people study for a degree.
My dream is to go to a good university.
Experiment. An experiment is a test that you do to see what will happen.
The student did an experiment in science class.
Smell. To smell something means to use your nose to sense it.
The 2 friends smelled the flower.
Race. A race is a contest to see who is the fastest.
Paul is a fast runner, so he easily won the race.
Overwhelm. To overwhelm is to exist in such a large amount that someone cannot deal with it.
The amount of homework her teacher assigned has overwhelmed her.
Salary. A salary is how much money a person makes at his or her job.
He got a new job with a better salary.
Climb. To climb means to use your hands and feet to go up something.
The girls climbed to the top of the mountain.
Customer. A customer is a person who buys something at a store.
The customer put a few items in a bag.
December. December is the 12th month of the year.
The last day of the year is December 31st.
Familiar. People or things familiar to you are those you know well.
The two friends were very familiar with each other.
Payment. When you make a payment, you give someone some money for what you get.
I made the last payment on my car yesterday. Now I am really the owner.
Attribute. An attribute is a characteristic of a person or thing.
He isn't very clever, but he does have some other positive attributes.
Craft. To craft something is to make it using skill.
She crafted the bookcase out of solid pine wood and then painted it.
Contrast. A contrast is a sharp difference between two things.
The contrast between my parents is very noticeable.
Meat. Meat is food made of animals.
This piece of meat I'm eating tastes very good.
Solution. A solution is a way to solve a problem.
There are many problems. We need solutions.
Represent. To represent is to speak or act for a person or group.
My lawyer will represent me in court.
Tear. To tear something means to pull it apart.
It is easy to tear paper.
Among. If you are among certain things, they are all around you.
There was a red apple among the green ones.
Length. The length of something is how long it is from one end to the other.
The length of the floor is 3 meters.
Amaze. To amaze people is to surprise them very much.
The news in the paper amazed Jack.
Consume. To consume something means to eat or drink it.
Jack consumed a whole plate of spaghetti.
Opposite. If A is the opposite of B, A is completely different from B.
The opposite of black is white.
Chemical. A chemical is something that scientists use in chemistry.
The scientist mixed the chemicals.
Accept. To accept something that is offered is to take it.
I accepted the girl's very nice gift.
Fail. To fail means you do not succeed in what you try to do.
Since he failed to get the job, he was sad.
Bike. A bike is a vehicle with two wheels powered by a human.
He rides his bike to school every day.
Fare. A fare is an amount of money paid to use a bus, train, or taxi.
Since he is a senior, my grandfather pays a low fare for the bus.
Understand. To understand something, you need to know what it means.
Henry could not understand the message.
Memory. A memory is something you remember.
The memory of my first time in the city will always be the best.
Smart. Smart means intelligent.
Mary is a smart student.
Puzzle. A puzzle is something that is hard to understand.
The question was a puzzle to him.
Remove. To remove something is to take it away.
I removed the nail from the board.
Swim. To swim is to move through water.
I love to swim in the ocean.
Professional. If something is professional, it deals with work that uses special skills.
If you want to be a pilot, you must have professional training.
Life. Life is the time when a person is alive.
My grandfather had a long life.
Library. A library is a place where you go to read books.
The library at school is full of books.
Lower. To lower something is to make it go down.
The chart shows how his production has lowered over the year.
Scare. To scare someone is to make them feel afraid.
My uncle was scared by what he saw in the room.
Magazine. A magazine is a regular publication with news, stories, and articles.
She likes to read fashion magazines.
Issue. An issue is an important topic.
The men spoke about issues that were important to the people.
Direction. A direction is the way to go.
Go in this direction for 10 minutes, and you will get to the river.
End. To end is to stop or finish.
They are happy because the teacher wanted to end the class early.
Judge. To judge something is to say if it is good or bad.
The boy was going to judge how his mother's turkey tasted.
Fragile. When people or things are fragile, they are not strong and can be damaged easily.
Fragile glassware was carefully packed into boxes.
Contact. To contact people is to speak or write to them.
I contacted Sue about my party.
Though. Though is used when one idea makes another seem surprising.
Though he was overweight, he liked to be active.
Immediate. If something is immediate, it happens quickly.
An immediate response came from the pizza place.
Aware. If someone is aware, they know that something or a situation exists.
The student became aware that the teacher was watching him.
Trash. Trash is waste material or unwanted or worthless things.
Please take out the trash. It smells bad.
Otherwise. Otherwise means in another way if you don't do this.
It's good to stay active. Otherwise, you'll gain weight.
Essential. If something is essential, it is very important and necessary.
It is essential to have oxygen when you scuba dive.
Arrange. To arrange things is to put them in the right place.
Please arrange the words in order from A to Z.
Usual. When something is usual, it is what we expect.
It was just the usual people who came.
Thin. If someone or something is thin, they are not fat.
The man was thin because he didn't eat much.
Report. A report is something someone writes for school or work.
Karen had trouble writing her report.
Reflect. To reflect is when a surface sends back light, heat, sound, or an image.
Her face was reflected in the smooth glass.
Release. To release something is to stop holding it.
She released the bird from her hands.
Tour. A tour is a short trip in which you see many sights.
I took a tour of Asia and Europe.
Apart. When people or things are apart, they are not next to each other.
They moved apart and then came back together.
Cat. A cat is a small animal related to lions and tigers that is kept as a pet.
This cat is playing with a ball.
Bit. A bit is a small amount of something.
I ate a bit of chocolate before I went to bed.
Beat. To beat someone means to do better than they do.
I managed to beat everyone in the race.
Happen. If someone happens to do something, he or she does it by chance.
I happened to meet some new friends at school today.
Magical. Magical describes a quality that makes someone or something special.
The fireworks made the night sky look so magical.
Inside. Inside means the inner part, space, or side of something.
The inside of the box was empty.
Mail. Mail is letters and other things sent to people.
I get a lot of mail because I have friends all over the world.
Notice. To notice something is to see it for the first time.
Did you notice the view?
Gift. A gift is something you give someone.
Dave received many gifts for Christmas.
Sound. To sound means to make a noise.
The alarm clock sounded and woke us all up.
Perception. A perception of a situation is a way of thinking about it or understanding it.
Since he couldn't see, his perception of life was much different than mine.
Already. If something happens already, it happens before a certain time.
It is already time for the movie to start. Let's go in.
Image. The image of something is a picture of it.
The image of her eye was very clear.
Message. A message is a set of words that you send to someone.
I left a message for you in the envelope.
Independent. If something is independent, it is not controlled by something else.
She chose to live an independent life in the country.
Bright. If something is bright, it gives off a lot of light.
The bright light from the explosion hurt my eyes.
Characteristic. A characteristic is something that shows what a person or a thing is like.
One characteristic of tigers is their black stripes.
Strike. To strike people or things is to hit them.
She struck the other girl in the face.
Lead. When you lead something, you go first and it follows you.
I will lead you to the right place.
Toward. If you go toward something, you go closer to it.
Santa walked toward my house with a bag of gifts.
Effect. An effect is a change made by something else.
The medicine had a good effect on the boy.
Describe. To describe is to say or write what someone or something is like.
They described their tree as colorful, with gold ribbon and a star.
Sport. Sport involves games like running, jumping, football, and tennis.
She loves watching sport on TV.
Coast. The coast is the land by an ocean.
I stayed on the southern coast of Australia.
Deliver. To deliver something is to take it from one place to another.
The man delivered Chinese food to my house.
Charge. A charge is the price to pay for something.
The charge for the shirts was $15.
Sudden. When something is sudden, it happens very quickly.
He felt a sudden pain in his chest.
Wide. If something is wide, it is large from side to side.
The door was as wide as my arms.
Behind. Behind means to be at the back of something.
The little girl was hiding behind a tree.
Week. A week is a period of time that is 7 days long.
What are you doing next week?
Suddenly. If something happens suddenly, it happens quickly and unexpectedly.
I was surprised when my friend suddenly shouted, "Happy birthday!"
Borrow. To borrow something is to take it and then give it back later.
Can I borrow a pencil to use today? I'll give it back to you tomorrow.
Assume. To assume something is to think that it is true, even with no proof.
I assume you are both familiar with this plan.
Entertain. To entertain someone is to do something that they enjoy.
The clown entertained the kids at the party.
Ride. To ride something is to travel on it. You can ride an animal, a bike, etc.
I will ride a roller coaster for the first time today.
Spoken. Spoken language is what we say.
We cannot take back what has been spoken.
Effort. Effort is hard work, or an attempt to do something.
He always puts a lot of effort into his studies.
Develop. To develop is to make something larger or more advanced.
This practice will help you develop your math skills.
Compare. To compare means to say how two things are the same and different.
If you compare cats and dogs, you'll see that they're both good pets.
Single. If something is single, then there is only one.
I have a single key in my hand.
Satisfied. You are satisfied when you have what you wanted.
I am very satisfied with your work.
Prince. A prince is the son of a king.
The prince and the princess were married.
Habit. A habit is a thing that you do often.
Smoking is a bad habit that can kill you.
Excellent. When something is excellent, it is very good.
I got an excellent score on my school test.
Tradition. A tradition is something people have been doing for a long time.
Marriage is a tradition all over the world.
Policy. A policy is a rule.
He told us that his policy was to put customers first.
Exercise. To exercise is to run or play sports so that you can be healthy.
You should exercise every day.
Spider. A spider is a small creature with 8 legs.
Some adults have a fear of little creatures such as spiders.
Thief. A thief is someone who quietly takes things that do not belong to them.
A thief broke into our home and took my mother's jewelry.
Alien. An alien is a creature from a different world.
The alien came in peace.
Support. To support something is to like it and help it be successful.
Everyone at work supports the new plan.
Worse. If something is worse, it is of poorer quality than another thing.
Business was worse this month than last month.
Tail. A tail is a part of an animal's body that sticks out from its rear or back.
Our dog wags its tail when it's happy.
Calm. When someone is calm, they do not get excited or upset.
A nice warm bath makes me feel so calm.
Foreign. Something foreign is something we are not used to.
He has traveled widely in foreign countries.
Battery. A battery is an object placed inside something to supply it with electricity.
My brother needs a battery for his clock.
Protect. To protect someone is to stop them from getting hurt.
Firemen protect us from fires.
Term. A term is a word for something.
I often use the term oops when I make a mistake.
Poem. A poem is a short kind of writing.
William Shakespeare wrote many poems.
Magic. Magic is the power to do impossible things.
The magician used magic to pull a rabbit out of his hat.
Clean. To clean is to make something neat and tidy.
I clean our kitchen every Saturday.
Produce. To produce something is to make or grow it.
This tree produces apples every year.
Secret. A secret is something that you do not tell other people.
The two boys were sharing a secret.
Staff. A staff is a group of people working together in a company.
My dad has a staff of 4 people to help him at the office.
Common. If something is common, it happens often, or there is much of it.
It is common for snow to fall in the winter.
Loud. If a sound is loud, it is strong and very easy to hear.
The man's voice was so loud that we all could hear him.
Honesty. Honesty means the quality of being truthful or honest.
A courtroom should be a place of honesty.
Season. A season is a time of the year, spring, summer, fall, or winter.
Fall is a warm season, while winter is very cold.
Observe. To observe something is to watch it.
Brian observed the sun rising over the mountains.
Coach. A coach is a person who teaches sports.
My coach gets very excited during games.
Realize. To realize is to suddenly understand.
After I left my house, I realized that I left the light on.
Behave. To behave is to act in a particular way, especially to be good.
She always behaves well when her father is around.
Risk. A risk is a chance of something bad happening.
I took a risk and climbed the snowy mountain.
Start. To start is to begin doing something.
Catherine has to start work at 8 o'clock in the morning.
From. From shows a starting place or position.
Chris studies from 10 o'clock to noon every morning.
Base. The base is the bottom of something.
The base of the table has 3 legs.
Flow. To flow is to move easily and continuously in one direction.
The water flowed over the rocks and into the lake.
Plate. A plate is a flat, round thing that you put food on.
I put my plate down so I could put some food on it.
Mystery. A mystery is something that is difficult to understand or explain.
The path on the map was a complete mystery to me.
Open. To open is to move something so that an opening is not covered.
Amy likes to open the window to let fresh air in.
Decide. To decide is to make a definite choice.
He tried to decide which one to eat first.
Weather. You use whether when you must choose between two things.
I could not decide whether to go left or right.
Community. A community is a group of people who share the same area or interests.
The community got together to plant trees.
Duck. A duck is a small water bird.
People feed ducks at the lake.
Dog. A dog is an animal with 4 legs and a tail that is kept as a pet or trained to work.
This woman's best friend is her dog.
Bilingual. A bilingual person can speak 2 languages.
Since you already know English, after learning French, you'll be bilingual.
Horse. A horse is a big, strong animal that people ride and use for pulling heavy things.
I went to a farm and saw a horse.
Harm. To cause harm is to hurt someone or damage something.
A hot iron can cause great harm if you are not careful.
Prize. A prize is something of value that is given to the winner.
I won a prize for getting the best grade on my science test.
Suffer. To suffer is to feel pain.
Her headache made her suffer all day.
Celebrate. To celebrate is to do something to show that an event is special.
We all celebrated when we heard the great news.
Rest. To rest is to stop being active while the body gets back its strength.
I rested on the couch after work.
Delicious. If a food is delicious, it is tasty.
I love the delicious fried chicken I ate for dinner.
Announce. To announce something is to make it known.
He announced to everyone his new idea for the company.
Mental. If something is mental, it has to do with your mind.
I made a mental picture of the room.
Rather. Rather is used when you want to do one thing, but not the other.
I would rather have the red one than the blue one.
Huge. If something is huge, it is very big.
At work, my father drives a huge truck.
Reward. A reward is something given in exchange for good behavior or work.
He was given a reward for his excellent performance.
Enjoy. To enjoy is to like something.
The woman enjoys riding her bicycle.
Grade. A grade is a score or mark given to someone's work.
I managed to get good grades on my report card.
Former. Former describes something that used to be, but is not anymore.
The hotel, a former castle, was built over 200 years ago.
Quality. The quality of something is how good it is.
The quality of his car is very good.
Door. A door is an object that swings or slides open and shut.
Can you close the door, please?
Grab. To grab is to take a hold of someone or something suddenly.
I grabbed a pear from the tree.
Found. To found a company or organization means to start it.
The Pilgrims founded one of the first colonies in the United States.
Comfort. To comfort someone means to make them feel better.
I wanted to comfort my friend after I heard the bad news.
Hospital. A hospital is where sick or hurt people receive care or treatment.
The doctor talks to a patient at the hospital.
Book. A book is a set of printed sheets of paper that are held together inside a cover.
The man smiles as he reads his favorite book.
Examine. To examine something is to look at it carefully.
The doctor examined my eyes today.
Weight. Weight is how heavy something or someone is.
I gained weight because I ate a lot of pizza.
Brain. The brain is the organ in your head that lets you think.
You must use your brain to solve the problem.
Store. A store is a place where you can buy things.
I picked up a few things at the grocery store.
Opportunity. An opportunity is a chance to do something.
I had an opportunity to take pictures in the jungle.
Receive. To receive something is to get it.
I received a present on my birthday.
Pocket. A pocket is a part of your clothing where you can keep things.
She always had her hands in her pockets.
Along. Along means down the length of a road, river, etc.
Walk along this tunnel for 10 minutes, and you'll see a door on the left.
Site. A site is a place.
We found the perfect site for our picnic.
Black. Black is the darkest color.
Our street is black at night because there are no street lights.
Method. A method is the way to do something.
One method to remember things is to tie a string around your finger.
Family. A family is a group of people who are related to each other.
There are 4 people in my family.
Chicken. Chicken is a bird that is often used for food.
Chicken is his favorite kind of meat.
Lawyer. A lawyer works with the law and represents people in court.
The lawyer left the courthouse after the judge made her decision.
Encourage. To encourage people is to make them want to do something.
My football coach will encourage us when we are losing.
7. 7 is the word for the number 7.
I have 7 colored pencils on my desk.
Average. If something is average, it is at a normal level.
I'm not rich or poor. I'm average.
Medical. Medical means related to the treatment of an injury or disease.
Tyler is a medical student studying to become a doctor.
Attention. Attention is the notice, thought, or consideration of someone.
His work got the attention of 2 of his coworkers.
Later. Later means after the present, expected, or usual time.
She missed the train, so she'll arrive a little later than expected.
Silly. People who are silly show a lack of serious thought.
I made a silly mistake of dropping Mom's face.
Disgust. Disgust is a feeling of distaste and anger caused by something rude or unpleasant.
He felt disgust toward his date because she had such terrible eating habits.
Storm. A storm is very bad weather. There is a lot of rain or snow.
Did that storm wake you up last night?
Laboratory. A laboratory is a room where a scientist works.
My mother works in a laboratory.
Various. If something is various, there are many types of it.
She owned shoes of various styles.
Bus. A bus is a large vehicle that people travel on.
My father takes the bus to work.
Hear. To hear is to be aware of sound through your ears.
Michelle cannot hear what you are saying.
Typical. If something is typical, it is normal, or something that usually happens.
My typical breakfast is toast and eggs.
Enter. To enter a place is to go into it.
2 guards greeted me as I entered the front door.
Bother. To bother is to make the effort to do something.
No one bothered to wash the dishes today.
Advance. To advance is to go forward.
He advanced across the bridge slowly.
Passenger. A passenger is a person who rides in a car, train, or airplane.
One passenger was standing near the subway train.
Sale. If something is for sale, you can buy it.
Everything for sale here is the same price.
Focus. To focus on something is to think about it and pay attention to it.
My mom always helps me to focus on my schoolwork.
Art. Art is something creative that expresses ideas and feelings.
My sister likes to look at the art in the museum.
Completely. Something completely different is very, very different from before.
I was completely wrong.
Include. To include something means to have it as part of a group.
Does this meal include a soft drink?
Boat. A boat is a vehicle that moves across water.
There is a small boat on the lake.
Figure out. When you figure something out, you come to understand it and find an answer.
I couldn't figure out what he wanted me to do.
Never. Never is when something is impossible or will not happen.
They never eat meat because they are vegetarians.
Claim. To claim means to say that something is true.
He claimed to know why the country's laws were weak.
Propose. To propose something is to say that it should be done.
My grandmother proposed that we have our picture taken with Santa.
Problem. A problem is a situation when something goes wrong.
My problem is that I lost my dog.
Appropriate. When a thing is appropriate, it is right or normal.
It's appropriate to wear a suit when you go to the office.
Artist. An artist is a person who paints, draws, or makes sculptures.
He went to Paris to become an artist.
Allow. To allow something to happen means to let it happen.
Having a ticket will allow you to enter the show.
Career. A career is a job that you do for a large part of your life.
He was in the hospitality business for most of his career.
Temporary. If something is temporary, it exists for a short time.
This car is only temporary. I'll get a new one soon.
Exam. An exam is a test.
I did some practice questions for the math exam on the board.
People. People are humans.
How many people live in China?
Quarter. A quarter is 1/4 or 25% of something.
He paid a quarter for the candy.
Beauty. Beauty is the state or quality of being beautiful.
I heard my mother was a great beauty when she was young.
Talkative. When someone is talkative, he or she talks a lot.
My aunt is very talkative whenever she is on the phone.
Weather. Weather is the temperature and the state of the outdoors.
Today's weather is rainy and cloudy.
Own. To own something means to have it. That thing belongs to you.
My grandfather owns that house.
Patient. If people are patient, they don't become angry or upset easily.
I had to be patient and wait until 5 o'clock to leave.
Home. A person's home is the place where that person lives.
The family likes to stay at home on the weekends.
Effective. If something is effective, it works well.
Swimming is an effective way to stay healthy.
Client. A client is a person or business that pays another to do a service.
She has many clients who enjoy coming to her salon.
Fact. A fact is a piece of information that is true.
A fact about South America is that it is a continent.
Terrible. If something is terrible, it is very bad.
The way he treated his classmate was terrible.
Recognize. To recognize something is to know it because you have seen it before.
I recognized an old friend from many years ago.
Banana. A banana is a long, yellow fruit with soft, white flesh inside.
Did you eat a banana for breakfast?
Cost. To cost is to require payment.
These designer shoes cost more than the regular ones.
Material. A material is what is used to make something.
Brick is a good material for building houses.
Regular. If something is regular, it happens often and in equal amounts of time.
Our regular lunchtime is around noon.
Plastic. Plastic is a material made by people.
Many drinks are sold in plastic bottles.
Local. If something is local, it is nearby.
The local market in my neighborhood sells all the food we need.
Nowadays. Nowadays means at the present time.
Nowadays, not so many people smoke.
Balance. Balance is when two or more things are equal.
A good balance between work and fun helps keep you healthy.
None. None means not any of something.
He spent all his money. There is none left.
Locate. To locate something is to find it.
I could not locate my keys in the house.
Else. If you talk about something else, you talk about something different.
I wanted a bike for my birthday, but I got something else.
Carefully. Carefully means with great attention, especially to detail or safety.
The baby carefully climbed down the stairs.
Breathe. To breathe means to let air go in and out of your body.
We need strong, healthy lungs to help us breathe well.
Always. Always means that something happens all the time.
They always brush their teeth in the morning.
War. A war is a big fight between two groups of people.
Many young men died in the war.
Gate. A gate is a type of door. Gates are usually made of metal or wood.
We want to put up a wooden gate around our house.
Evil. Evil describes something or someone bad or cruel, not good.
They felt a strange, evil presence as they got closer to the house.
Pressure. Pressure is what you apply to make someone do something.
They put pressure on him to change his mind.
Sense. To sense something is to know about it without being told.
I could sense that he was watching me.
To associate means to connect something with a person or thing.
Most people associate birthday parties with having fun.
Service. Service is the act of helping or serving someone.
This coffee shop has excellent service.
Wear. To wear is to have clothing on your body.
The man has to wear a suit to work.
See. To see is to use your eyes to look at something or someone.
Stephen does not want to see the scary picture.
Necessary. If something is necessary, you must do it.
A passport is necessary if you travel to other countries.
Arrive. To arrive is to get somewhere.
They arrived at school at 7 a.m.
Description. A description of someone or something says what they are like.
I gave a description of the man with the gun and hat to the police.
Diet. A diet is the food regularly eaten by a person.
His diet mostly consists of fruits and vegetables.
Regard. To regard people is to think of them in a certain way.
The boy regarded the girl as a good friend.
Content. To be content is to be happy and not want more.
The baby looked very content sitting on the floor.
Tip. A tip is a pointed end of something.
The tip of his pen was very sharp.
Web. A web is a home made by a spider.
Mom cleaned the spider webs out of the garage.
Love. To love is to like something or someone a lot.
I love my family very much.
Imply. To imply something is to suggest it without saying it.
The man implied that he wanted the job, but he didn't say so.
Settle. When you settle something, you reach an agreement.
We settled the argument by looking up the answer on the web.
Behavior. Your behavior is the way you act.
Their behavior was good this semester. They didn't cause trouble.
Food. Food is things people and animals eat.
Pasta is a famous food in Italy.
Fair. Fair means reasonable or right.
He sold me his car for a fair price.
Puddle. A puddle is a pool of liquid on the ground.
When the ice melted, it formed a puddle.
Idiom. An idiom is a phrase with a meaning different from its words.
The idiom, "when pigs fly," means that something will never happen.
Drop. To drop is to fall, or allow something to fall.
A small amount of water dropped from the bottle.
Capital. A capital is a city where a country's government is based.
The capital of the United States is Washington, D.C.
Share. To share something is to give some of it to another person.
Jimmy shared his apple with me.
Proper. If something is proper, it is right.
It is not proper to throw your garbage on the road.
Challenge. A challenge is something difficult to complete.
It was a challenge to climb to the top of the mountain.
Prove. To prove something is to show that it is true.
My teacher proved the answer on the board.
False. If something is false, it is not correct.
If you think the answer is false, press the red button.
Course. A course is a class in school.
I took a PE course in school this year.
Inform. To inform someone is to tell them about something.
I called and informed her about my idea.
Vague. If something is vague, it is not clear and gives very few details.
I asked him about his mother's health, but he was very vague about it.
Certain. If you are certain about something, you know it is true.
I am certain that zebras have stripes.
Medicine. Medicine is something you take to feel better or treat an illness.
The doctor gave me medicine for my cold.
Example. An example of something is a thing that is typical of it.
Cola is an example of a soft drink.
Force. Force is a person's strength or power.
He used all his force to try and open the door.
Actual. Actual means real or true.
This is the actual sword that the king owned, not a fake one.
Year. A year is a period of 365 days, or 12 months.
You become 1 year older every birthday.
Physical. If something is physical, it is related to your body and not your mind.
Biking is good for your physical health.
Treasure. A treasure is a collection of valuable things, especially jewels or gold.
They became very rich when they found the buried treasure.
Response. A response is the answer to a question.
He asked if I was sad. My response was no.
Function. The function of something is what it does.
The function of a flashlight is to help you see in the dark.
Respond. To respond is to give an answer to what someone else said.
When the teacher asked the question, we all responded.
Hurry. To hurry is to do something quickly.
I hurried home on my bike.
Hunger. Hunger is the feeling that you get when you need to eat.
After playing all day long, he was filled with hunger.
Standard. A standard is what people consider normal or good.
This older model TV is below our store standards.
Laugh. Laugh is the sound made when someone is happy or a funny thing occurs.
The sound of her laugh filled the room.
Event. An event is something that happens, especially something important.
Finishing high school was a major event in his life.
Contain. To contain is to hold or have something.
I have to find something to contain these apples.
Totally. If you totally agree, you agree with everything just said.
I am totally against that.
Amount. An amount is how much there is of something.
Can I use my card to pay for the entire amount?
Manage. To manage something means to control or be in charge of it.
I had to manage the meeting myself.
Ever. Ever means at any time.
Going skiing last winter was the most fun I've ever had.
Print. To print something is to put it onto paper.
Make sure that you print your name clearly.
Advertise. To advertise is to describe or draw attention to a product or event by using a public medium.
The woman started a new company and needed to advertise her products.
Different. Different describes someone or something that is not the same as others.
Each of my sisters has a different hairstyle.
Conclusion. The conclusion of something is the final part of it.
At the conclusion of the race, the spectators cheered for the winner.
Hero. A hero is a brave person who does things to help others.
To children, the man in the blue and red costume was a real hero.
Natural. Things that are natural are not made by people.
We need to take care of the natural world.
Remain. To remain somewhere is to stay there.
My sister had to remain home since she was sick.
Member. A member is a person who is part of a group.
Julie is the newest member of our team.
Think. To think is to have an opinion or thought about something.
I think summer is the best season.
Feature. A feature is an important part of something.
The cell phone has many features.
Glass. Glass is a transparent, breakable material.
Windows are made of glass.
Invite. To invite is to ask someone to come to a place or event.
I will invite my friends to my birthday party.
Football. Football is a sport with 11 members and an oval-shaped ball.
Football is a popular sport in the United States.
Depend. To depend on something is to need it for support or help.
My grandfather depends on a cane when he walks.
Dash. To dash means to run or move quickly.
Helen dashed up the stairs so she wouldn't be late for her appointment.
Therefore. Therefore means for this reason.
He is fat. Therefore, he should go on a diet.
Advise. To advise someone is to tell them what to do.
My mother often advises people about their money.
Match. To match is to be the same or similar.
The two shoes matched. They looked the same.
Solve. To solve something is to find an answer to it.
All the students could easily solve the math problem.
Operation. Operation. An operation is when a doctor replaces or removes something in the body.
The operation on my arm was a success.
Personality. Your personality is what you are like and how you behave.
John has a bad personality.
Pull. To pull is to hold on to something to move it toward you.
The children pulled the rope.
Surprised. You are surprised when something unexpected happens.
He didn't appear at all surprised when he read the article.
Bury. When you bury something, you put it under the ground or under a lot of other things.
My father was buried in his hometown when he died.
During. During an event means while the event was happening.
Did you sleep during the movie?
Barely. Barely means by the smallest amount, almost not.
I barely had enough money to pay for my bus ticket.
Maintain. To maintain means to make something stay the same.
The balls maintain constant movement.
Moderate. When something is moderate, it is not too big or too small in size or amount.
It takes a moderate amount of patience to be around small children all day.
Consider. To consider something means to think about it.
Pete didn't like his job. He considered getting a new one.
Public. If something is public, it is meant for everyone to use.
I went to the public park to play with my friends.
Exchange. To exchange is to give one thing in return for another.
The men exchanged business cards.
Real. If something is real, it actually exists.
Some people don't believe in aliens from space, but I think they're real.
Expect. If you expect something to happen, you believe it will happen.
I expect the bus to be here very soon.
Cancel. To cancel means to decide that an event or a request will not happen.
She canceled the rest of her plans because of the rain.
Opinion. An opinion is a thought about a person or a thing.
Meg told me her opinion of my story. She said it was not funny.
Shout. To shout is to say something loudly.
My boss shouted at me because I was late for work.
Concern. Concern is a feeling of worry.
I was filled with concern after reading the newspaper.
Punish. To punish means to make someone suffer for breaking the rules or laws.
To punish me, my teacher had me stand in the corner.
Positive. If something is positive, it is good.
She has a positive future ahead of her after finishing college.
Agree. To agree is to have the same opinion or belief as another person.
The students agree they have too much homework.
Photograph. I like taking photographs.
I took this photograph with my cell phone.
Safety. Safety means the condition of being safe and free from danger.
For his own safety, he was placed in a car seat.
Further. Further means at or from a greater distance or time.
The escalator is further than I thought.
Ritual. A ritual is a formal custom that people do regularly.
Ken was very interested to learn about the religious rituals of the natives.
Control. To control something is to make it do what you want.
To control the TV, just push the buttons.
Center. The center of something is the middle of it.
The center of a dartboard is the most important spot.
Pattern. A pattern is a way in which something is done or organized.
My pattern of brushing my teeth is the same as most people's.
Article. An article is a story in a newspaper or magazine.
Did you read the article in the newspaper about the soccer game?
Proud. People who feel proud are happy about what they have done.
She is proud of the picture she drew of her house.
Avoid. To avoid something is to stay away from it.
Avoid the broken bottle on the floor.
Visit. To visit is to go and spend time in another place or see another person.
She wants to visit her grandmother.
Destroy. To destroy means to damage something so badly that it cannot be used.
The glass was destroyed.
Chocolate. Chocolate is a sweet food made from cacao beans.
I made a chocolate cake for my mom's party.
Often. Often is when something happens many times.
He often goes to bed early during the week.
Waste. To waste means to use something carelessly and unnecessarily.
Turn off the water so you don't waste it.
Imagine. To imagine something is to think of it in your mind.
Sally imagined herself winning lots of money.
Clothes. Clothes are what people wear to cover their bodies.
I bought warm clothes for the cold winter.
Chart. A chart is a list of information.
We used a chart to see how we had improved.
Occur. To occur means to happen.
When did the thunderstorm occur?
Hill. A hill is a raised area of land. It is higher than the land around it.
The sun was rising above the green hills.
Old. Someone who is old has lived for many years.
My mother is 70 years old now.
Practical. If something is practical, it is useful.
Learning English is practical. You can use it in many places.
Critic. A critic is someone who gives opinions about movies, books, plays, etc.
The wine critic tasted the wine, so he could give his opinion.
Bite. Bite is the act of using your teeth to cut and tear into something.
The boy took a big bite of his hamburger.
Plenty. If you have plenty of something, there is a lot of it.
We have plenty of fruit, so help yourself.
Lone. A lone person or thing is the only one in a given place.
A lone man walked along the street.
Clerk. A clerk is a type of worker. Clerks in a store help customers.
The clerk added up her bill for the groceries.
Red. Red is the color of blood.
Jack is wearing a red shirt.
Guide. A guide is someone who shows you where to go.
We followed a guide at the park.
Disappear. To disappear means to go away or not be seen.
The top of the building is disappearing in the clouds.
Increase. To increase is to make something larger.
I will increase my score if I study for the test.
Project. A project is a type of work that you do for school or a job.
His afternoon work project was to paint the room green.
Shiver. A shiver is a shaking movement the body makes when someone is cold or scared.
I got shivers on my way home because it was so cold.
Create. To create means to make something new.
She created an igloo from blocks of snow.
Separate. If two things are separate, they are not together.
New York and Los Angeles are in two separate parts of America.
Contribute. To contribute to something means to do something to make it successful.
We decided to contribute money to the new hospital.
React. To react is to respond by acting in a certain way.
James reacted badly to the news.
Jail. A jail is a place to keep bad people.
He was sent to jail for taking other people's cars.
Purpose. A purpose is the reason that you do something.
The purpose of exercising is to get into shape.
Predict. To predict something is to say that it will happen.
She predicted that I would get married next year.
Journey. A journey is a long trip.
I went on a journey across the country with my parents.
Goal. A goal is something you work toward.
Her goal was to become a doctor.
Half. If you cut something into two parts that are the same size, you cut it half.
The machine can divide the book in half.
Bread. Bread is a food made from flour and water.
You need 2 pieces of bread to make a sandwich.
Ask. To ask is to say or write something to get an answer.
Please ask questions if you do not understand.
Travel. To travel is to go to a faraway place on vacation or business.
They will travel to Argentina this summer.
Fun. When something is fun, it is enjoyable.
We had a fun time at the birthday party.
View. To view is to look at something.
Michael likes to view himself in the mirror.
Merge. To merge two things is to combine them into one whole thing.
The storm clouds merged into one large menacing cloud that filled the sky.
Doctor. A doctor is a person who studies medicine and helps sick people.
You should go to the doctor when you are sick.
Sociable. When someone is sociable, they are friendly.
Many of my good friends are sociable, but I am shy.
Forward. If you move forward, you move in the direction in front of you.
When he saw his mother, the baby crawled forward to her.
Far. If something is far, it is not close.
It's far from the East Coast to the West Coast of America.
Camera. A camera is a piece of equipment that takes pictures.
I brought my camera on my vacation.
Adventure. An adventure is a fun or exciting thing that you do.
Riding in the rough water was an adventure.
Band. A band is a group of people who play music.
My brother is in a rock band.
Shake. To shake is to move back and forth or up and down quickly.
When people shake hands, it usually means they agree.
Yet. Yet is used to say something has not happened up to now.
We can't go out yet. We're still eating.
Noise. A noise is an unpleasant sound.
The crying baby made a loud noise.
Kill. To kill someone or something is to make them die.
I killed the fly.
Fortunate. If you are fortunate, you are lucky.
I was fortunate to get a seat.
Speech. A speech is something said to a group of people.
She gave a speech to the class.
Planet. A planet is a large round thing in space.
Saturn is the planet with the ring around it.
Theory. A theory is an idea about how something works.
We talked about Einstein's theory of relativity in class.
Steal. To steal is to take something that is not yours.
The men tried to steal money from the bank.
Instruct. To instruct is to teach.
My teacher instructs us in several subjects.
Belief. A belief is a strong feeling that something is correct or true.
A preacher or priest should have a strong belief in God.
City. A city is a place where a lot of people live.
Tokyo is a very big city in Japan.
Frequently. When something happens frequently, it happens often.
We meet frequently, either at the beginning or end of the week.
Spread. To spread is to move out to cover a larger area.
I like to spread butter on my toast.
Attract. To attract means to make a person or thing come closer or be interested.
The magnet attracted the metal.
Cake. Cake is a sweet dessert made from flour, water, sugar, and eggs.
What a beautiful birthday cake!
Mirror. A mirror is usually made of glass, and you can see yourself in it.
He used the mirror to shine light in their eyes.
Extra. If something is extra, it is more than what is needed.
The squirrel had extra nuts for the winter.
Dinner. Dinner is the main meal eaten in the evening.
I had a hamburger for dinner.
History. History is the study of the past.
History was my favorite subject in school.
Chase. You chase people when you run after them and try to catch them.
I was chased by a dog.
Master. A master is a person who is very good at something.
My brother is a master of Taekwondo.
Attend. To attend something is to go to it.
My sister and I attend the same school.
Ahead. If something is ahead of something else, it is in front of it.
The blue car drove on ahead of us.
Great. When something is great, it is very good.
It was a great, exciting game.
Innocence. Innocence is a lack of experience of difficult or complex things in life.
Everyone who met her found her innocence to be charming.
Instance. An instance is an example of something.
I have never experienced an instance of hate. Have you?
Require. To require something is to say that it is necessary.
We require teachers to have a university degree.
Month. A month is one of the 12 periods of time in 1 year.
January is the first month of the year.
Condition. The condition of someone or something is the state that they are in.
The patient's condition was very good.
Bone. A bone is a hard part of the body.
I brought home a nice bone for my dog.
Suggest. To suggest something means to give an idea or plan about it.
He suggested that we go to see his boss.
Breakfast. Breakfast is the morning meal.
I ate eggs for breakfast.
Primary. If something is primary, it is the most important thing.
His primary thoughts are about money.
Society. Society is a group of people who interact and share a culture.
Society expects people to be good and honest.
Perform. To perform is to do something in front of people who watch.
He will perform a song for the class.
Stare. Stairs are the things that are used to walk up or down in a building.
You can take the stairs to the second floor.
Command. A command is an order given to a person or animal to do something.
Joe gave the students a command to stand up.
Appeal. To appeal to someone is to be interesting or attractive.
Sleeping all day appeals to me, but I have to go to school.
Symbol. A symbol is a thing that stands for something else.
This symbol tells us that we cannot smoke in this area.
Several. Several is more than two, but not many.
He had to read several books for class.
Apartment. An apartment is a set of rooms in a building where people live.
She has a nice apartment in the city.
Alive. Someone or something that is alive is not dead.
My grandparents are still alive, even though they are over 90.
Suppose. To suppose is to guess.
I suppose I should go home now.
School. A school is a place where children go to learn.
The students study at school.
Nurse. A nurse is a person who helps sick people in the hospital.
A nurse helped me get better.
Pain. Pain is the feeling that you have when you are hurt.
His head was full of pain.
Outline. An outline is the plan for a story or essay.
Before I wrote my essay, I made an outline.
Poll. A pole is a long, thin stick made of wood or metal that supports things.
The flag was hanging from the flagpole.
Nervous. When a person is nervous, they think something bad will happen.
The boy became nervous when he heard the news.
Alone. A person who is alone is not with another person.
The boy wanted to be alone to think.
Garbage. Garbage is waste material, like unwanted or spoiled food, bottles, paper, etc.
The boy cleaned up the garbage around his house.
Divide. To divide something is to split it into smaller parts.
We divided the pizza.
Stroll. To stroll means to walk slowly and calmly.
My dog and I strolled through the park today.
Profit. A profit is the extra money you make when you sell something.
I made a small profit from selling my old clothes.
Injustice. Injustice is a lack of fairness or justice.
Putting an innocent person in jail is an act of injustice.
Fashionable. Something fashionable is what people like to wear and do now.
It is very fashionable to wear a hat.
Trouble. Trouble is a problem or a difficulty.
I have trouble working with my boss.
Unite. To unite is to get together to do something.
If we unite, we can finish our project faster.
Shape. An object's shape is the arrangement of its sides and surfaces.
Even with your eyes closed, you can feel the shape of it.
Help. To help is to do something that makes something easier for someone else.
Jane can help Nathan climb up the rock.
Compromise. To compromise is to agree to something that is not exactly what you want.
We both compromised about the game we decided to play.
Invest. To invest means to use money in a way that will bring a profit later.
I invested money in a new building that should bring me a profit.
Accounting. People study accounting so they can deal with money and finance properly.
He works for an accounting firm.
Period. A period is an amount of time when something happens.
In one period in Europe, there were many nights.
Cheer. To cheer is to give a loud shout of approval or encouragement.
The crowd all cheered when the home team won.
Serve. To serve someone is to give them food or drinks.
He served us our drinks quickly.
Eat. To eat is to chew and swallow food.
You should eat breakfast every day.
Within. You use within to say that something is inside another thing.
Within the box, there was a pizza.
Attitude. Someone's attitude is the way they feel and think.
John has a bad attitude. He's always angry.
Space. A space is an empty area.
I don't have much space for things in my small house.
Available. If something is available, it means you can get it.
There were many seats available in the room.
Shoot. To shoot is to fire something like a bullet at someone or something.
The hunter raised his gun to shoot at the target.
Stage. A stage is a place where actors or musicians act or sing.
A large screen was on the stage.
Instrument. An instrument is something designed to do a certain task, like play music.
My favorite musical instrument is the piano.
Evidence. Evidence is a fact or thing that you use to prove something.
He used the pictures as evidence that UFOs are real.
Gulf. A gulf is a gap between people who do not understand each other.
There has been a gulf between James and Tony since their parents died.
Rush. To rush is to go somewhere or do something very quickly.
Nancy rushed to finish her homework.
Lie. To lie is to say or write something untrue to deceive someone.
Whenever Pinocchio lied to his father, his nose grew.
Novel. A novel is a book that tells a story.
He wrote a great novel about ancient China.
Professor. A professor is a person who teaches in college.
Mike's science professor knows a lot about physics.
Worth. If something is worth an amount of money, it costs that amount.
Our house is worth a lot of money.
Direct. If something is direct, it goes straight between two places.
The green path is a direct route to my house.
Scene. A scene is one part of a book or movie.
A movie is made up of many short pieces or scenes.
Lay. To lay means to put or place in a horizontal or flat position.
Don't lay your socks on the floor.
Downtown. The downtown area is the center of most cities.
The downtown area is filled with many tall buildings.
Guard. To guard something is to take care of it.
The police officer will guard us from any harm.
Doubt. Doubt is a feeling of not being sure.
I have doubt that the story is true.
Earn. To earn means to get money for the work you do.
He earns his living as a chef in a great restaurant.
Extremely. If something is extremely good, it is very, very good.
I was extremely worried about him.
Carrot. A carrot is an orange vegetable.
I put a carrot in my salad.
Advice. Advice is an opinion about what to do.
I don't know how to study for my exams. Can you give me some advice?
Factory. A factory is a building where things are made or put together.
We have only one factory in our town.
Quite. Quite means that something is a certain way completely or very much.
I think typing on a keyboard is quite easy.
Game. A game is an activity where people compete against each other.
Let's play a board game tonight.
Environment. The environment is the place where people work or live.
Keeping our environment clean is important to our health.
Appear. To appear is to seem.
She appeared to be sad. She was crying.
Desert. The desert is an area of land without many plants or water.
Not many plants grow in the desert.
Fruit. Fruit is a type of healthy food that grows on trees and plants.
Apples, pears, and oranges are types of fruit.
Active. When someone is active, they move a lot or have a lot of things to do.
It is important to be active and not sit around all the time.
Participant. A participant is someone who joins in a social event or competition.
There were thousands of participants in this year's marathon.
Populate. If people populate an area, they live there.
Billions of people populate the Earth.